Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Outkick MMA episode 521. I am Brennan. UFC Qatar prelims. Qatar. I still don't know how to properly pronounce that. I've heard it both ways. Shout out to Psych fans. This is gonna be the prelims. So in the main card we had Saryukin versus Hooker. So if you see the headlines, that was the main event. The main event on the main card. This is going to be Luke Riley versus Bogdan Grad. The rest of the prelims are going to cover all those. Go through them pretty much round by round. Talk about scoring when it's necessary. Unlike this featured prelim here, and get into all that stuff. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the videos come out. I really appreciate it. Let's start talking about fights. Man, how'd them fights go? How'd those fights go, though? Anyway, Grad's a tough son of a bitch, and Riley coming in here and starching him in the second round. Now, it wasn't on the... He didn't starch him on the feet. He hurt him and got him down there, but he starched him on the ground. So, Grad was right in his face in this first round, keeping him on the warning track. And Grad was using multiple... used multiple efforts. Second, third, fourth try to get that takedown. He was stayed connected the entire time. Got him down to the ground. Stayed on top of him. Not a ton of damage, but got some good hooks in at the end of the round when they separated a little bit. 3 minutes and 55 seconds of control time. Not a whole lot of big striking. 6-3 in favor of Grad. Clearly his round though, right? 10-9. All right, second round here. They exchange almost immediately, and Riley drops him with the left hand, follows up, and puts him to sleep on the ground. Also, if you're looking for a specific fight, the timestamps are down below. Excellent performance by Riley. Don't know how much we can tell about it. I would have liked to see him maybe defend against some takedowns a little bit better. I'm not going to criticize the guy for getting a win. It's not what I'm going for, but if you want to take more away from this fight, I would have liked to see some, takedown defense possibly shown in the second round. Didn't need it, but would have liked to see it. All right, moving on. Nicolas Dalby versus Saygid Izagakhmaev. Close rounds, okay? Only people upset here are going to be people in their own camps, and they should be upset at themselves. Close fight, right? Dalby got him to the cage using those double unders. It looked like he wanted to slow him down. This was Izagakhmaev's first fight in the UFC. The ref started to get antsy really early on. Who was it? Lucas Bazaki? Yeah. The ref, you could tell he was getting antsy because they were booing. Anytime Dalby was in the outside pressing Izagakhmaev against the fence, boos would come out, right? They'd be like, boo, you suck, right? And then if it would flip, Dalby had his back to the fence, people were like, all right. Kind of boring, but all right. Like you heard people say boring, but people weren't booing. So you could tell who the crowd favorite was. Pretty obvious coming from that part of the world. Makes sense. It's so funny when that happens. You're like, the people booing, if you were to ask them, like, why are you booing? That if they told you, like, oh, this is boring. Okay. But it's not boring when your guy's winning. So you're bored because the guy who's winning is doing something boring and you don't like him. That's what it is. I get it. Makes sense. Izagakhmaev tries to grab the glove. The ref stops it. He's trying to get off the fence. Dalby just did, he did good job mixing up his targets with the kicks in space. He didn't land anything significant. Neither guy really did, but Dalby had more control in this round. I don't think the damage from Izagakhmaev was so much so that you could say that he clearly won this one from damage. So, if anything, it was even, right? Damage looked like it could have been even. They say that 0-6 to the head from Dalby. Yeah, but hitting, like, what did Izagakhmaev land that was so significant in this round? I didn't see it. So I gave the first round to Dalby. Second round, a lot of the same, right? Not a whole lot of striking either, right? This time Izagakhmaev was engaged in the takedowns. They end up getting back up. He ends up getting good control. He had more control in the grappling, but here, look, total strikes. Dalby was in front here. Dalby had more strikes, so I should clearly give it to... No. Again, same thing. Damage was damn close. Neither guy really did anything. Dalby spun out of the back take at the end of the round, was able to get some damage off right before the end, but it's just not enough. I gave this round to Izagakhmaev. So I had it 19-19 going to the third round. Dalby gets in his face, very similar to the first round, but then on separation, right, Dalby started to throw. Like, he threw much more, and now you can say, well, he missed a lot more too. Doesn't matter, right? He landed more, 18-11 in favor of Dalby, but he threw a lot more. One guy was throwing more offense out there. Effective offense and offense in general is trying to finish the fight. That includes strikes, regardless of whether or not they miss. I understand that if a strike misses, it doesn't do damage. I'm not an idiot. But in this case, Izagakhmaev was tried for a takedown. Dalby countered, got to the back, did some clinch work. Izagakhmaev was stalling a lot in this last round. It's weird that was weird that there's no booing. Izagakhmaev was also very tired, and Dalby, he's known for his cardio and that weird breathing technique that he does. It's just very loud, right? Just so he got decent cardio, tough son of a bitch, and he just outworked him. I gave it to him 29-28. Looking at the scorecards here, let's see how they scored it. Ben Cartledge and Cesar Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski. Oh, good grief. Sorry, dude. They both gave the first and last rounds to Dalby. Makes sense. And then Vitor Paulilo was like, I'm caving to peer pressure. I'm giving that first round to Izagakhmaev. Interesting. Anyway, moving on. Asu Almabayev versus Alex Perez. This was a good fight, right? This was a good fight. I thought this one was going to be interesting going to the scorecards because I feel like there was going to be a little bit of an upset. One of the guys, Perez, was going to be very upset because I felt like Almabayev was close in that first round, even though I gave it to Perez. It just felt like Perez was landing more damage, right? He landed less in his first round, 20-18, but he was the one pressing forward. He was the one landing bigger shots. It just didn't, like, he was landing to the body and the legs more, so Almabayev, outlanded him to the head. It just didn't feel like what Almabayev was doing that much damage, and there was very little control time, 58 seconds for Almabayev, but it wasn't significant. It wasn't crazy. That takedown didn't really mean much. Perez gets up. Just a lot of output from Perez, making sure that he was the one doing everything. And, it being 20-18, I gave it to Perez. Like I said, you give it, if you say damage is equal, right? Who was the one controlling things more? Maybe Almabayev with okay, maybe you give it to him. I just didn't. I gave this first round to Perez. I felt like he did more damage. Second round, much better for Perez. Get him down a couple times after catching some kicks. Almabayev working his way to the middle, landing some good body kicks, but then Perez right to takedowns. He just lots of damage from him. I felt like he did way better. 21-13 for striking numbers. It's clearly his. And then third round, immediately Almabayev jumps standing guillotine and gets the finish. Looking at the scorecards here, everybody had it split going into that third round, so the third round would have mattered. I thought he was down 2. From the way commentary was talking, it seemed like Almabayev was down 2. Interesting scorecards. Almabayev doing what he had to do. Great performance by both guys. Love watching them fight. Rafael Cerqueira versus Cerqueira versus Abdul Rakhman Yakhyaev. Yakhyaev gets close with the spinning kick, then lands another one, then follows up, landing some big shots, gets the back, gets to the finish, rear naked choke. He just did all this shit really fast. Cerqueira did nothing. He didn't land a single shot. He attempted one strike. Got finished in 33 seconds. Not a whole lot to break down unless you're going super technical and you want to see how he did it. But so freaking fast. All right, the Topuria brother. Aleksandre Topuria versus Bekzat Almakhan. Um, Not exactly. It wasn't back and forth, right? It was kind of like a technical thing, and Almakhan was going with volume and speed, and Topuria was looking for power and damage, instantaneous damage. So this first round, Topuria was really leaning back as he was walking into range, leaving that lead leg out there, looking to load up on that right hand. Almakhan was getting out in front with the striking numbers, though. He was just landing way more early on. Although you look at the striking numbers here, 17-12 in favor of Topuria. I did not see it like that. I didn't see it. Watch it. Go back and watch it, and you tell me you thought Topuria landed more shots. Maybe that jab, but I didn't think so. I thought Almakhan was landing more shots. They weren't significantly harder or better shots. I just felt like he was landing more. Topuria transitioning to the mount and the scramble. Almakhan just keeps moving. It looked like the grappling was going to go in favor of Topuria. He landed a takedown, got him down. It looked like that could be a path forward to him. It looked like he had the power advantage. It looked like the speed was for Almakhan. I felt like Almakhan did enough in this first round early on to get the first round 10-9. But these numbers just don't seem right. I don't believe those numbers. Second round, perfectly timed takedown from Topuria. Absolutely beautiful. Times it, gets him down. I think he had a minute of control time here. A little bit more control time in this round than the first one. Almakhan's wearing the damage so much worse, right? He's got a busted up right eye, a bloody nose. Topuria's landing that stiff jab and that right hand. Glancing is enough. Just that glancing right hand is enough to force Almakhan to retreat. I had it 19-19. Topuria outstruck him 15-13 in the second round. Last round, Topuria finding the mark with some big right hands. He's been walking him down and engaging and grappling a bit in this round, just landing huge shots. There's some big shots that landed for Almakhan right at the end of the round. It just wasn't enough to get it all back. 15-14, striking numbers very close in all of the rounds. I just felt like Topuria did more damage as the fight went on. Looking at the scorecards, Anders Olsen saw it how I did, and Ben Cartledge, and the guy I refuse. I can't. I'm just gonna say that name wrong. Cesari. Cesari. I'm so sorry. Bad joke, eh? Yeah, Topuria looks good, man. Yeah, he looks a lot like it just looks dangerous. Ryan Loder versus Ismail Naurdiev. Naurdiev just looking for that right hand and finds it. Puts his ass down. Don't know what to tell you. It's not a long fight. What was this one? A minute 26 of him chasing him around looking for that right hand and gets it. Moving on. Nurullo Aliev versus Shaman Rock. Oh, man. It's spelled... Here, you tell me how you would pronounce this. Oh, Shem. Okay, well, it's not written down that some... Shamrock. It's written down on the other website as Shaqueme. Or Shaqueme. Rock. Not Shamrock. Maybe he changes so people know how to pronounce it. Anyway, Aliev right in on the single attempt. Rock stuffing it easily. Aliev landing sloppy hooks, finding the mark with a couple of them. Rock was just waiting a lot, catching those left hands, just not finding hard counters, right? And he was creating a little bit of space in this round as it came to an end, using his kicks a little bit better, but he's just not doing enough, right? He got outstruck here 28-12. It's just not enough. Second round, Rock digging the low inside kicks, going to the body with the kicks, and Aliev still with those hooks, and now he wants to clinch because he doesn't want to sit there and trade with them. Aliev rocking him multiple times with the left hook, and Rock is landing some really good shots of his own, and the finger poke head clash combo from Aliev, real nice. Problem was, Rock outstruck him 20-14, but he got stumbled in this round. I hate that he got rocked. Whatever. He got hurt in this round. So you just can't give it to him. So I had 20-18. The last round, Rock getting a deep underhook, back control, getting him down, getting him out, but Aliev kicks off the fence, no damage with it, and he just coasted to the end of the round. If you gave this round to Rock, I understand, 12-9 striking numbers. Let's look at the Nobody did, though. Everybody gave it 30-27. That's how I saw it. I didn't think that he did enough. We could talk about this, the first one. Made it this far. It's just a really bad fight. Just one of those, when you have a heavyweight fight in the UFC, this was Marek Bujlo versus Denzel Freeman. Bujlo. He's Polish, and I've looked up pronunciations for it, and they came back at 3 different ones. So I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Bujlo. Like, I don't know. They even said it on the broadcast. They weren't going to say it. They're just like, we're not going to call him that. We're calling him Mark. This fight was very bad, very boring. Freeman landed more damage. It seemed like he landed the bigger shots in the first round. Looked like he more damage, even though they were block shots. He did it in the second round, and then he got more active. Got on top of him in the third round, did more damage. Let's see, what did the judges say? Mark Collette and David Letheby gave the first round to Bujlo. Okay, that's fine. This fight was bad. Do not waste your time with it. It was, like I said, so in the UFC, this is what I was saying before I cut myself off. So in the UFC, maybe just in general in MMA, it's just particular in the UFC because I watch so much of it, and there is high level MMA at heavyweight. So usually what happens, you get one of 2 fights with heavyweights. 3. One of 3 fights. You get the sloppy, well, one of them can turn into the other one. Okay, so we'll say that. So you have this one, which is just like neither guy wants to engage. You can call it a technical fight. No, it's a hesitant fight is what it is. They're not being technical. They're not setting anything up. Neither one of them wants to get knocked out, so they don't want to engage. All right, so they're being too tentative. This happens. It can happen in other divisions, but especially the female divisions, but it happens a lot at heavyweight. What else happens at heavyweight? The slobber knocker, right? You have the slobber knocker, just sloppiness, both guys just winging big punches. Here's the thing. If neither guy gets knocked out, right, what happens in that fight? They get tired, and then you have sloppy fat guy wrestling for the rest of the fight. So as I said, there's 3 types, but one usually turns into the other, right? That sloppy fight happens because people get tired from missing punches. Anyway, this fight was not worth your time. Just 2 big dudes not wanting to throw. Freeman could have a future. Can't really tell you too much based off this fight. That's it. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That when the next video is coming out, I really appreciate you. You guys have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.